Hey, y'all having a good time? Okay. It's great to be here in Colorado, folks. I'm here from New Jersey, and I can't tell you how much fun I've been having. From New Jersey. I generally come out here twice a year to ski with Barry and Carrie and their friends. I've met many of you who I've skied with before, and it's been fun meeting lots of other people. It's just been a great night. I've known Barry for almost 40 years back in New Jersey, and I met Carrie shortly after Barry met Carrie. That's true, okay. And last night I was talking about the wedding being a little different than most weddings I've been to, because most weddings are about hope and promise of a future successful relationship. And I think we all agreed that last night was a formal confirmation of what already is a great relationship. Now, when I was given the honor of giving the toast and being best man, I had to confront the question of to what degree this would be a toast and to what degree this would be a roast. Now, last night, I described Carrie as a warm, loving, caring, giving, generous, persistent, skilled person who has a great smile and a twinkle in her eye.
And I tipped him appropriately.
But come to think of it, I only come out here twice a year. Now, if I came out here more, I'm sure I'd find many more admirable qualities to speak about Carrie. And then there's Barry. Sorry, why are they laughing? Do they know something about you I don't? What? You mean you're not perfect? Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Now, last night I described Barry as Mr. Social, Mr. Get It All Done,
Yes.
and Mr. Adventure.
Yes.
What a bunch of crap that was.
No, I agree.
No, actually, we know Barry's a great guy, and like Carrie, we've all come to love him. Thank God we don't have to live with him.
Unlike Carrie.
Now, Carrie is fully prepared, able, and ready to deal with this dynamo.
After 9 years.
Now, we're talking about Barry here, and with all qualities, there's a sliding scale of 0 to 10. And statistically, most of us are average. Oh, wait a second, I'm here in Colorado, I forgot. Like Lake Wobegon, you're all above average. But we are talking about Barry, and he's off the fucking charts, no doubt about it. So tonight, instead of talking about Mr. Social, Mr. Get It All Done, and Mr. Adventure, I'm going to talk about another quality. I'm going to introduce a word here that I think a few of you actually may not know. And I expect that when I say it, you may turn to the person next to you and ask, what does that mean? So, I'm going to describe Barry as Mr. Mishigosh. Now, raise your hand if you know what that means. Okay, a few tribesmen out there, I say.
You have to be from Jersey or what?
Now, it's not a Jersey word, it's a Yiddish word. Yiddish word. And it's hard to describe. It may mean idiosyncrasy, an eccentricity, or a weirdness, or a quirkiness.
What, Barry?
How about 5 directions at one time?
There you go. Now, we all have Mishigosh, there's no question about that. We all have quirkiness, and it's up to our friends to accept or at least put up with our Mishigosh. If you have too much Mishigosh, then you're a Meshuggah. And that means crazy.
I think Barry's thinking that right now, Jeff.
Now, at this point, having set the stage, I could really go on all night, but we're having too much fun for that. So I'm just going to describe a couple of examples. For instance, for Barry, rules are just a suggestion. Right? Unless he makes them up himself. Right? All you have to do is look around the B&B at all the signs of what not to do and what to do to get the general idea. But I want to tell you a little story that happened probably about 4 or 5 years, or a few years anyway, before Barry came out to Colorado. And Barry had bought a house, a historic house, a landmark house in East Brunswick, New Jersey, on a little bluff above a major highway that had access to the highway. And behind it was a residential area, a beautiful residential area. And his plan was to fix it up, live on the top 2 floors, and have the bottom floor be an antique shop. Well, this was zoned residential. That wouldn't deter Barry in the least. So Barry is going to go before the variance board, and the neighborhood hears about it, and they get a lawyer and form an association. So it's Barry against the town and all the neighbors. Now this house, by the way, I'll digress a little bit, needed a lot of work, including a paint job. And Barry, being a guy who gets things done, of course, brought in all his friends to paint the house.
We had pizza.
He called it a... Yeah. When you're 3 stories up on a scaffold, it's kind of hard to get to the pizza. He called it a pizza party, like hell it was. Scaffolding, scraping, 100 years of paint off the thing. Well, I think he eventually he did live there, and eventually decided, you know, Colorado's a better place to be. So, got that right. I just want to tell actually one more little story, because I think a lot of you may have experienced this yourself. Barry has a message on his cell phone during the winter that says, "I do not answer my cell phone on weekends because I'm skiing." Now, you know, why would he not do that? Is he because of cell phone politeness and etiquette? I doubt it. Is it because he doesn't want to miss one glorious moment of skiing? That's closer, but that's not the reason. He doesn't like to get his hands cold. Okay, now there's lots more stories, and I hope what I've done actually is trigger a few in your own brain, so you can turn to the people around you after the toast and maybe share a few. Or if you want to come up and share a few for a minute, that would be fun too. But let's raise our glasses to Barry and Carrie, and wish them many more adventures in many more places, in many more seasons for a long time to come.